and Mr. Brian for Mumbai Indians side. And I don't know, as Mumbai Indian fans, how are we going to gel today? Because there are so many things to just not show your face to. But that's what Mumbai Indians has got us through. 103 runs की हार, यहाँ से वापसी का मुझे तो सेंस या कोई सीन दिख नहीं रहा. It requires a super human effort to now nail this and go to the knockout. But I have Brian to maybe put more words to this, maybe share more relatable theories right now. Brian, we have never been, we have been through these situations, but we had belief in the team. This time I'm lacking it. What do you think?
No, I agree. Actually, so you're right. We've been in situations where we've lost 5 games. We lost, in the first half, we normally never do well. But then I think fans had that belief, that they will come back because I think they used to see that team playing as together. We used to lose close matches before. This time, I don't know. In fact, for the last 1-2 years, rather, it's not this time. I've been a Mumbai Indians supporter fan from the beginning. Uh, I've not seen anyone play, for Mumbai, or probably I don't know. I was saying in my last season as well. I think as a team, it's totally disjointed. It's not looking like a 5-time winner, 2-time champion trophy winner. It, there's no sense to put a fight back at least. And I think they're losing a lot of people are fans. I think the stadium got half empty, and then you could hear CSK chant. But I don't see that bond or that kind of unity in the team, which is probably used to be there till probably 2023. And of course, I'm a Hitman fan, but I'm not saying that you get Hitman as a captain. But I think Pandya needs to take the onus and responsibility. I think he's playing he probably gave what I think in the first 2 overs 35 or 40 runs order. The batting came probably I think the second ball or third ball he tried to kind of whack out. So I think the team looks at the captain. And I think it's a reflection of the captain, So I think that's what probably Mumbai Indians are missing this year.
Right now, a lot of things Mumbai Indians is missing. The one part is winning the games, but we have Prem Rajendra to discuss about it. Sir, CSK के chants थे all over Wankhede. 70% people were CSK fans. जबकि आज ऐसा था कि धोनी भी खेल सकते हैं, रोहित भी खेल सकते हैं, but दोनों नहीं खेले. So as a CSK fan, I think you guys have breached the Wankhede fortress for sure. Because एक तो ये जिस तरीके से जीते हैं मैचेस, इसके अलावा अभी फैंस भी वहां पर 50-50 का कोई रेशियो तो छोड़िए 70-30 का रेशियो हो गया है. So I personally feel that it is a moral win for CSK more than just a win because they have nailed it completely. सैमसन वहां जाके सेंचुरी लगा रहा है. हमारे प्लेयर्स completely एक ताश के पत्तों की तरह बिखरे हुए दिख रहे हैं. इससे ज्यादा बुरा क्या हो सकता है?
So, I guess, okay, from my side as a CSK fan, I think, obviously, like I said, it's a huge morale boost. Getting the win was obviously it was a huge morale boost, but not just that. I think we got the combinations right, if that makes sense. The bowling attack looks way stronger than before. And obviously, Akeal Hussain just kind of proved that in this game with his 4-wicket haul. But I think, like I said, Sanju at the top, again, just with his doing what Sanju does, and just sort of showing us why, CSK made that trade happen. Anyways, I think, like I said, the combination has really worked. And I think the biggest factor for me, or what differentiated the game between the two innings, was the power play. Because CSK is and the game is sort of won in the modern day in the power play. So CSK went all guns blazing in the power play. We saw Rutu and Sanju just absolutely stonk it. And I think CSK hit about 73 in the power play, if I'm not mistaken. And if you saw the Mumbai Indians power play in comparison, they were 29 for 3.
It was 73-15 overs, I guess.
Yeah, so that really puts things into perspective, and it shows that CSK were just able to blow them out of the water in both power plays. So yeah, I think that was the biggest sort of differentiating factor. And again, a huge morale boost, a huge boost for CSK. Now we're sitting in 5th, sort of on the cusp towards cracking on towards the playoff spots. But yeah, this is a huge win, and obviously getting the win in Wankhede is huge. And any CSK game is a home game for us, to be honest, because just the massive fan base. But that's I'd say just a overall huge great day to be a CSK fan overall, and I'm
Absolutely.
gonna go to bed a very happy man.
Yeah, till before this evening, I was thinking wearing blue is something which is good for today. But after this match, I felt I could have chosen yellow maybe in my life. But yeah, since we are talking about this Mumbai Indians का right now जो DNA चल रहा है, and I'm saying DNA because ये team मुझे वो नहीं दिख रही जो इसके पहले होती थी. So Brian, talking to you on this particular problems of Mumbai Indians, what I personally feel is that Mumbai Indians is not playing like a unit or as a family, as you mentioned. I totally agree because this is not the Mumbai Indians we know. And if there is the reason is captaincy, I feel it is more than captaincy because the players are not putting any effort personally, individually. You look at the kind of collapse we had in Mumbai Indians. I personally feels like it's a gone thing, like a hopeless kind of a Mumbai Indians innings it was. So personally, I mean I'm a disappointed as fan, and even if you consider me not a Mumbai Indian fans, as a cricket fan, I'm disappointed in the kind of cricket they have played today. So I wanted to know that as Mumbai Indian fan, how did you feel? What were the problems other than captaincy in the team can be rectified before the next game?
So I think it's like it's an ebb flow. In fact, every Mumbai Indian fan would have been happy with the same kind of almost similar result with Gujarat, and in a going to Gujarat and playing in front of a stadium which has a capacity of close to 100,000. Uh, so I think they kind of it's like they probably it's a sinusoidal wave. So they're taking it to that high where they probably had a similar result, and they kind of bring you down immediately. So today was very kind of a mixed reaction because we probably felt, and I think that was the I didn't join the last session, but I'm sure Naresh was there, and probably every Mumbai Indian fan would have had that kind of hope that after losing 4 games, I think that kind of uh, thrashing which we got today basically is something that probably was uh, on the uphill. We are looking uphill, and the way they kind of they bowled and they batted in that game. Of course, it was one man Tilak. So today also, I think it was one man Sanju who probably kind of I think took it away. What they can correct, I don't know. See, my honest opinion is they're not able to fix that opening combination. I think after Rohit has pulled his hamstring, and I hope think we got a 4-day or a 5-day break. I hope Rohit gets. I think that's the kind of he's the pulse basically of the the Mumbai Indian team.
Yeah.
So and I think him being right at the beginning makes a difference whether he probably may score or not score. So I think the opening combination is not fixed. Our power play has been, I think, if I look, I don't know if we've done an analysis on that, but I think the power play is something that we have choked in almost every match. In fact, even Gujarat, we started off slow, but then I think it was Tilak who basically kind of covered up for that particular knock, which he scored 199 or 200, I believe. So I think the power play is the one major factor in terms of where we're losing. I think probably around except for the first match, I believe after every match we probably lost 2 or 3 or 4 wickets rather. So the power play needs to be fixed. Our bowling, I think, besides Ghazan sir, uh, I don't see any other bowler. Even Bumrah, Bumrah is getting kind of picked nowadays. Probably I don't know today if you noticed there was a no ball he bowled,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately after that he bowled a proper Yorker, and I think it was a legal delivery. I think Samson was plumb in front, but I've not seen him bowl those normal balls, those Yorkers in the normal game. And after that, I think probably he bowled one to Sarfaraz, I believe, and that's it. So I said like probably it's the bowling department and the power play which probably we need to pick up ASAP because we're giving 200 runs in every match. Which I know it's the modern day game and probably everyone kind of 200 is the norm right now, which was 150, 160 before. But probably leaking around 220, 230, today 207. I think that's where we're kind of totally giving it up. We're probably not bowling well in the power play. We're not batting well in the power play. And our bowling is an all-time loss. Today our batting anyway crumbled. Even though in previous matches we used to lose by, we chased, I think RCB, we probably ended up at 220 odd or something when we were chasing 240, 250. Oh, sorry, that was Punjab, I believe. But uh, these are the areas where we need to get fixed. I think, Santner also now out. Now, Will Jackson's coming, but I don't know, probably he was not match fit. Or probably he was there in the some impact subs, but he didn't come in. So one is fix your opening. I think in terms of if Rohit, I hope Rohit is fit because that Danish Malevar guy, I think it's throwing him under the bus. I don't see him kind of probably. Rohit, you have the we are spoiled with choices of foreign players. I feel at the time because I think I would have definitely opened with Rickleton and Decock. We tried that one game, but I think the problem then you kind of can't take a Sherpain Rutherford, and Sherpain Rutherford is a today of course he failed, but otherwise he's a good player. And you can't with the bowling you probably can't mix it against there. So I think we need to fix that because Malevar is not an opening batsman at all. He's what he can see. He's pressurized. He's tense. He's super tense. So I hope Rohit comes back. Next game, I think next game is against Satu. I think it's Sunrisers, if I believe. So another tough team we're going to face. But yeah, I think I'll go back to kind of probably rally around the captain. That is one thing. The captain is not probably rallying around the team. Then it's a kind of a concern. I see that, and I think most of my discussions I've had with a couple of fans see that happening. We have a group where we have WhatsApp chats going on. There are lots of kind of wrong abuses or kind of long just hurled at our captain right now. So I think he needs to rally around the team rather than the team rallying around it. So he needs to get them together. So I think that's what I feel.
Well, right now बहुत सारे ऐसे कमेंट भी आ रहे हैं जो मैं बिल्कुल पढ़ना नहीं चाहती because अच्छा नहीं लगेगा इस न्यूज़ चैनल पे पढ़ते हुए लेकिन a lot of people may be right about it, I will say. But at the same time, I think a lot of people are not happy with the kind of captaincy Mumbai Indians is going through, and not just I think Mumbai Indians ये पूरे IPL में मुझे देखने को मिल रहा है. There has been a lot of captains who are unable to impress, in which Mumbai Indians also comes as one team जिनके captain impress नहीं कर पा रहे. Talking about CSK, Prem, आज की CSK की team dominated Mumbai Indians completely, entirely in every department. Your players, and especially, I would like to talk about Mukesh Chaudhary because a lot of people got this news that his mother passed away some days back, and then he made a comeback today. Just this evening, he joined the team. I mean, that requires immense respect and immense strength. हर कोई नहीं कर सकता what he has pulled out today. So I would like to know what are your thoughts on his strength, his mind, and how did he really overcome that situation, which I think no human can easily pull off.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's credits to him. I mean, I think that takes a lot of strength and just a lot of resilience to be able to walk onto the pitch after a personal tragedy, something like as that. As something with so much magnitude in your personal life, and it just. Kudos to him. It takes a lot of strength. We've all had our own, personal struggles, but walk onto the pitch and deliver, 4 overs, and I thought he bowled really well as well. He bowled really well. He picked up a wicket, didn't give away too many runs. So yeah, I mean, to put on a performance like that after your own, personal tragedies, hats off to him. So just huge respect as a fan base, and I think just as a fan for him to don the colours. Even after something like that, because it's normal for anyone to not want to play the match or take a break after something of that sort, but to really just crack down and be like, okay, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to play for the team. That's very heartwarming as a fan to hear.
Right. Brian, talking about Mumbai Indians, the thing is what I personally feel is in Mumbai, Brian's internet is causing some issues, I guess. I have Prem with me to discuss further. Prem, I would like to move back to, but I think as a CSK fan, you will be the best person maybe to talk about Mumbai Indians as well, because you have been following up, having a great rivalry. And personally, in today's match, I don't even want to call this El Clasico because there was no MS Dhoni and no Rohit Sharma in this match. And a lot of people will feel like, because it was a toothless rivalry for me personally, when you don't see Rohit Sharma and Mumbai Indians blue and you don't see MS Dhoni in yellow, you definitely do not feel like that there is a rivalry, there's a history belongs to this. So did you also feel the same, or it was just only I was missing them?
No, I definitely think that the emotions come into play because for a lot of fans, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm old by any means, but I watched the IPL from the first edition, and I mean, look, I grew up with the legends, the Dhonis, the Rohits, the Kohlis, and to not see them kind of play in the recent tournaments, it's tough. It's tough to not see the legends of your past in the same light. But I think we just have to kind of come to terms with the fact that they are in the twilight of their careers, and you just have to accept that. See, I mean, a fit Rohit, for example, Rohit in his, I'd say, early 30s or late 20s, probably wouldn't be picking up the same niggles or the same injuries as he is in his late 30s. So, that's just sort of the nature of the game, and that's just how it is. So, yeah, we just have to come to terms with it as a fan. I think it shouldn't take away from the excitement of the game, because it's still obviously a stellar contest, and it's still, you know, titles against five titles. So, who's going to win the sixth? There's still always that narrative, but yeah, it definitely doesn't feel the same without, Dhoni and Rohit playing, in the game itself. So, yeah.
Since Brian is back, Brian, I would like to talk about कि कोई भी टीम कितना भी बुरा खेल ले, मतलब मुंबई इंडियंस ने तो आज आई थिंक हद ही कर दी, जितना बुरा वो खेल सकते थे उससे ज्यादा ही बुरा खेला है, बट 49 के ऊपर बना लेती है, चाहे जो हो जाए. मुझे पर्सनली ऐसा लगता है कि हर टीम कितना भी बुरा खेल ले बट 49 के ऊपर तो पहुंच ही जाती है, नो मैटर व्हाट. आई समटाइम्स फील कि आरसीबी फैंस भी सोचते होंगे कि यार कोई टीम तो हो जो इस रिकॉर्ड को भी ब्रेक करे और इसके नीचे भी एंड अप करे, बट एटलीस्ट मुंबई का लो उतना भी लो नहीं है. दिस इज व्हाट आई फील कि थोड़ा सा मुझे पॉजिटिविटी देता है. बट व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दिस, कि आपको लगता है जैसे इनके हालात हैं वैसे एक दिन ये शायद 49 के नीचे भी एंड अप कर सकते हैं?
नहीं, I will not kind of. I won't probably want to kind of think of that, and I don't see that happening. Very honestly, I'll tell you the reason why. It's not because Mumbai. If it probably had to play maybe 7 years ago, the way they're playing right now, probably they would have made 49. I think the pitches are batsman friendly. It's become that game, right? I think even your, I think your the Pakistan league that they have. I think all scores about 200 now. And I think people come in for batting. People come in for that. In fact, you see most of the awards. Awards are also kind of fours, sixes. There's only one dot ball award, which I used to play cricket. I used to probably, while I used to bat, I used to kind of always feel it's kind of bowler who can control the actual flow of a game. So I would see that 49 score happening, and I told you the reasons why. Mumbai to nahi bana payega, and I would want to believe that. Uh, coming to what Prem said, and I think with regards to of course, when I was Sachin fan, total Sachin fan. In terms of maybe I've seen the Desert Storm innings of his, and that's when I was a kid and kind of grew up. And I think that's the reason why I chose Mumbai Indians. Of course, I stay in Mumbai, but I think I chose Mumbai Indians because of that. Uh, he passed away, and then probably we hooked on to, I think in 2012 is when we took Rohit, and Rohit was a Mumbai lad again, and I think that's when we kind of continued to follow him. Uh, so Mumbai is one of the only grounds I think where you probably see a lots of because I think that's the city. The city itself has a lots of people from other states and everywhere come in. I see that kind of with regards to the question I'm saying on 49 in terms of if you don't have any Mumbai person as a part of this, and Surya's there. Surya's also at I think almost the end of his twilight, why he plays for Ranji, Surya. But if you don't have anyone from Mumbai, I think that fan following based on the way they're playing, it's kind of slowly diminishing. It's like probably I can see that a little that the kind of that slowly fading away. And the new generation, I don't think they're so involved in cricket. I think football is catching up over there. So to keep this alive, I believe I hope Mumbai is going to turn around this. I think we have to win. I think 6 out of the 7 games now to still probably reach 8. All 7 games we have to reach 9. It's of course an uphill path. I think most of the fans have given up, but I don't know. I see somehow that probably they repeat, and we every time I think I felt the same last year, and they probably came third. I believe I felt the same last year because they were 2 of 7. I believe. I think someone said or 3 of 7, and I think they went on to play. Pandya was there that time, so they surprised us all. Uh, so I still have that kind of at the bottom of my heart that they will kind of bounce back. But yes, I think that the rift is kind of widening, and I think that probably the kind of think tank. Maybe I also very honestly I feel it's time to part ways with Jayawardene. I think probably the kind of the kind of maybe coaching which he was brilliant probably around 7 years ago, or when 2017-19 is when we kind of started investing in. But maybe old school thoughts, and probably kind of with the big five names we have, probably not kind of trying to get the other 6 or 7 to probably kind of be more of a kind of a filler or shock kind of absorbers between them, those 5. It's like those 5 I believe, and then you have the 6, and we're trying to kind of just be a superstar team. So yeah, but like I said, I probably kind of bounce back. 49 to bilkul nahi. 94 बिल्कुल नहीं, आज 100 नसीब से क्रॉस किया है. I hope below 100 भी कभी नहीं हुए. But yes, I hope we come back, sure.
I did, a kid in me wants to really, really agree to what you have said, but the adult in me is telling me it's a trap. Don't. Because right now, what Mumbai Indians is showing is a sign of hopelessness. And for me, if I believe in that, it's going to break my heart once again. Because this time, I really believe in Mumbai Indians. After the last match they have won, I thought that unka comeback ho gaya hai, wo time aa chuka hai. But ye bata raha hai ki that was, in my mind, was a fluke. But it can be wrong for many. And I am ओपन इन दिस वर्ल्ड कि भाई बहुत ओपिनियंस जी सकती है, मेरी भी जी रही है. बट टॉकिंग अबाउट सीएसके, Prem, though they outplayed Mumbai Indians, but there must be some things which you find that CSK needs to work on, because obviously they're not the perfect team, वरना वो भी सीजन की शुरुआत से हर मैच जीत रहे होते. So what are those things which you pointed out? Also, I want to know, since you have won this match against Mumbai Indians with quite dominance, would you like to retain the same 11 in the upcoming next CSK's clash?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's still problems. I think the biggest problem is up top with Gaikwad just not being able to convert into big innings. I think he sort of struggled all season with his batting. That's something that needs to click. Obviously, Sanju is starting to click at the top, so that's not something to worry about. And I think also in general, just the middle order batting. Again, we have a lot of sort of young lads that unfortunately Matre's injury has, that's really been very unfortunate for us. He's out for the season. That's been a bit of a heartbreak as a fan. But either ways, like I said, middle order batting, no one has really clicked per se, or hasn't really clicked consistently in the middle order. So that's something that I'd probably we'd want to address. In terms of bowling, I'd say we're looking in good stead, especially after this game. But I think the biggest thing to look for is just will they be able to do it consistently on a game-to-game basis? I really do, like the fact that Akeal Hussain is in the playing 11. Again, I really rate him as a spinner, and again, as someone that can give you that impact in the power play, which is very important these days in the modern T20. And I think I would keep the same 11. I don't feel like there's a need to change a winning combination. Perhaps, I mean, again, if Dhoni were to come back from injury, and if, let's say, I'm not sure about the status of his injury. If he were to say, let's say, come back, then who makes way? Maybe Karthik Sharma makes way. I don't know, but yeah, that's sort of up for debate. But at least for me, presently in this state, I wouldn't really change this combination because it sort of clicked. But yeah, there's definitely things to address, and there's definitely things that scare me as a CSK fan because we wouldn't. I think that the only team that's really looked above and beyond everyone else in the IPL right now is Punjab. They're just too good, man. They're just too good. They are just too good these days. So yeah, apart from that, I feel like everyone is sort of in a tussle. Rajasthan as well have looked pretty good, but. So I guess CSK has a few problems to address before they really solidify that playoff spot. So let's see what happens in the next few games.
Talking about who can replace MS Dhoni, I feel Ruturaj Gaikwad would be a good option to go with. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because again, he's the captain. Again, I really, really rate him as a captain. I don't think when Sanju came in, people obviously had that chat of whether he should take the captaincy or not. I always thought that Gaikwad should be the captain, but either way, with the bat, he's just having a bit of a rough time. Everyone sort of goes in and out of form. It just happens. It's part of the game. I think, like I said, there's probably something that's again mentally just as a hurdle in his head, in his batting, and he just needs to clear that. And he's just one big innings away from like really unlocking and seeing the Ruturaj that we're used to seeing season for season. So yeah, let's hope that does happen. Maybe next game, fingers crossed. But yeah.
Okay. तो ब्रायन, अब मुंबई इंडियंस की इतनी बुराई कर ही रहे हैं, तो थोड़ी सी और कर लेते हैं कि आपके हिसाब से, अगर जैसे कि बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं that we should remove Hardik Pandya from the captaincy, who is that player do you think can take up the challenge and maybe try and make Mumbai Indians come back possible?
So I think if I've answered this last, and I think I did basically. So I just probably would give the captaincy over to Sky, or if Sky is not taking Bumrah. See, you have Sky is probably, they say is a kind of, more like a descendant of Rohit. So I think he's probably come up to that. He's kind of, been bred in that kind of condition. He's seen what Rohit has done. Rohit probably may have coached him as well when the T20 team was. So you have someone in Sky already who basically comes with that kind of, the bloodstream that Mumbai Indians have, or, the, I always I'm like I said, I'm a disciplined and advocate of a bowler being a captain. I've
Yeah.
always kind of recommended that. And I know when Mumbai Indians had Harbhajan as a captain, even though he's think a bowler kind of, puts all his effort and he knows what's happening on the field. So I would definitely want to try Bumrah as a captain, though he's been the captain for India just as a stand-up and stand series, I think Zimbabwe or probably, when we went to Sri Lanka or somewhere or Bangladesh, I don't know. He's done really well. He kind of, a bowler being a captain is much more than a batter, much more strategical than a kind of a batter. So, if not Sky, I think it's, you hand it over to Bumrah. Bumrah will definitely deliver. I'm telling you, his bowling will pick up as well. I think in terms of what he probably kind of, sees, reads of the pitch, he's a bowler in any kind of condition to thrive. So, he knows, and I think he'll be able to marshal his troops really well. And I'd like to see that. Maybe, there were rumors in between, by the way, I think before the Gujarat win. And I think maybe that's the reason why you saw Hardik Pandya jumping in the air and all, because I think there were rumors that, he may be sacked as captain. Hardik Pandya. There was a big kind of a floating. So, and rumors normally, it'll end up in Antilles as well, which is the Ambani's dwelling place. So, I'm sure, they have that kind of in mind that he's not been doing it. So, I'll tell you very honestly, I'd been for this, the Mumbai Indians, they had the 2 day, there was a 2 day kind of, I forgot what it's called. It was in there was a big kind of, they had a musical night. They had all the players come in and the players were standing in the balcony. I think, the entire team was one side and I could see Hardik standing probably, with his fiance, whoever on the one side and probably kind of, in his own world. Normally if you, and I saw Rohit and, Deepak Chahar and all the other guys, Kai and all the Tilak Verma and everyone, they were probably formed a nice and they were like, within themselves. If you want to kind of, like I said, he should rally around his team. I think if a captain should have that kind of affinity wherever he goes, whether he's probably on the field, off the field. I think it's that kind of comfortability that the team have in a captain. So I think you've seen that in Sky. I think, if Hardik Pandya has to probably be removed at some possible day, and most of us are hoping. Uh, I know he'll be playing the playing 11 as well then, but Sky would definitely kind of be he has one of the will have his kind of following, and probably it'll take some time, of course, but team will get together. Bumrah, I think, probably from a strategical perspective. So these two, I see. I don't think Rohit's going to take the captaincy back in the manner in which he was kind of asked to probably step down. I think, and it was a talk that we took Pandya back, but I think these two are my kind of choices.
I do agree with you when you said Jasprit Bumrah, but I would like to rephrase my question once again. That is, the captain who also have a position in the playing 11, because Surya Kumar Yadav is playing that kind of a game जिसमें उनकी भी जगह भी playing 11 में बनती नहीं दिख रही है, because he has been constantly horribly out of form. आज भी जरूरत थी जब उनकी batting की, he could not really showed that he is a senior, he is a leader. There is no doubt over his T20 skills, over his cricketing skills, over his shots, but right now no one is clicking. So what I personally feel is a captain should be a player first and then a captain second, because आपको individual performances भी देनी है. So personally, I'm not in favor of Sky, but I am in favor of Jasprit Bumrah, or maybe a new guy named Tilak Verma. I don't know whether he has captained in the setup before in the domestic circuit. I'm not aware of that, but maybe a new guy. Prem, what do you think about this, about Mumbai Indians captaincy? Because this is the hot topic right now.
Yeah. I actually had a few thoughts on it. I think it's a mid-season captaincy change, because it happened at CSK too. It happened the season Jadeja took charge, and then mid-season Dhoni took the captaincy back. So it does happen, but I personally believe that it shouldn't. A mid-season captaincy change kind of really unsettles the dressing room, and it has potential to do more harm than good. Reason being, again, what's the relationship going to be like between Hardik and the new captain? And again, Do they get into the same playing 11 together? And again, it really messes up the combination, in my opinion. So I feel like this is a conversation that's probably better had at the end of the season. Again, not saying that you should write off the season, but at least stick with the captain that you've got. Because I mean, either ways, look, they had that blockbuster trade a few years ago to really bring him in. And this is a guy that at the end of the day, the management wanted. So, either way, sure, he's been given a couple seasons in charge and he hasn't really delivered. But I'd say just give him the until the end of the season to put something together. And if he doesn't, then yeah, I would sack Hardik in favor of. I'd say for me, Bumrah is an interesting choice. I really like that as a shout, and I really enjoy bowlers as captains too. So that's a good shout for me. Surya Kumar Yadav is obviously our designated T20I captain for India. So that's obviously not a bad shout as well. But then I think in my opinion, I feel like they should groom a young new captain. And just like I said, Tilak Verma is a shout, or just someone new, someone that's fresh, just so that just because I feel like Mumbai need to do something different and sort of change their ethos a little bit, or actually wouldn't say ethos, more like just change something up without drifting too far away from their core ethos. So yeah, that's the way I see it. That's the way that I would approach the captaincy situation, because yeah, the sacking of a captain right now I feel like could really turn the season even worse for MI. So yeah, that's my thoughts at least.
Sure. Obviously, I mean, not everyone can pull off that mid-season captaincy and then make a comeback for Mumbai Indians, because that was a one-person thing more like, because it's not that easy and not everyone can really pull it off. I think Brian will also agree with me. But at the same time,
we did it in 2013. So,
yeah,
where Rohit came in suddenly towards the end and kind of, after Ponting was the kind. So, I think it's a catch-22 situation. Right? I agree with in terms of, maybe, throwing a kind of a pebble in the ocean, or kind of it just probably stirs up things. But we require a stir up, I feel, at the same time. So, I think you require a shake up. But yeah, I think, let's see, I think how it goes. I don't know. I think the next two matches are going to be key. They got a 5-day break. So let's hope kind of, changes around.
Yeah. Even in that situation, I remember in 2013, when the captaincy change came mid-season, I think it was Ponting more than Rohit Sharma who took the call that I am not doing well. I know I cannot do any better with this team. It rather be somebody else who can really do good. So that is an acceptance first from Ponting and then from Rohit Sharma to take up the challenge. So, the both of them.
नहीं होगा.
इधर नहीं होगा, इधर एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं आएगा, हमें पता है. You need greatness to do such things. You need greatness. And I'm not saying like मैं कौन होती हूँ यार ये कहने वाली, मैंने कभी 22 यार्ड में मैंने बल्ला नहीं पकड़ा. लेकिन अगर हम इस तरह के ग्रेटिट्यूड की भी बात करें, इस तरह के मतलब कॉल लेने की बात करें, इतने बोल्ड कॉल्स लेने की बात करें, I don't think कि हार्दिक पांड्या really can take that call. और मे बी शायद ये बात इससे ज्यादा ट्रिकी है, एज फैंस हम समझ नहीं सकते, मे बी इससे ज्यादा ट्रिकी बात हो. बट व्हाट आई पर्सनली सी इज कि वो जमाना बहुत अलग था जहां पर क्रिकेट टॉप पर हुआ करता था. अभी राइट नाउ सिचुएशंस बहुत डिफरेंट है, बहुत ज्यादा बिजनेस फ्रेंचाइज चीजों ने टुक ओवर कर लिया है. सो अभी डिसीजंस इस बेसिस पे नहीं होते, मोर ऑफ जो आपका फैन बेस बचाए रिटेन करे उस बेसिस पे होते हैं. But nevertheless, that's how the cricket is right now. And maybe Mumbai Indians अब अगर कुछ बेहतर कर सकते हैं तो वो बेहतरी अगले सीजन में ही देखने को मिल सकती है. इस सीजन थोड़ा मुश्किल मुझे दिख रहा है. But you can definitely tell us in the comment कि आपको क्या लगता है कि what should be the Mumbai Indians नसीब from here on, क्योंकि difficult तो लग रहा है right now जिस तरीके से Mumbai Indians खेल रहे हैं. Now, it's like a lot of discussion on this today's match. Tomorrow we have Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus Gujarat Titans in M. Chinnaswamy Stadium. And since I have both of you and now just you, Prem, I would like to ask that Gujarat Titans और RCB के इस मुकाबले में which team do you think has an upper hand and why in Chinnaswamy? Also, I want to know that who is the player of the match according to you? Just predict one.
For tomorrow's game. Okay, so I mean, I guess in terms of RCB versus GT, I think RCB are definitely the most settled side. Again, defending champions. They have obviously shown some chinks in their armor as of late, of course. But I do still feel like they have this in the bag, especially behind, the rallying Chinnaswamy crowd. I do feel like RCB have the edge In terms of a player of a match, I'm gonna go with Phil Salt. Just just a stab in the dark. So yeah.
Sure. Brian, your pick for tomorrow's match, who's going to win it since it's RCB versus GT in M. Chinnaswamy? Who do you think is going to be the player of the match?
So I think probably it's for me it would be no-brainer. It would be RCB who would probably kind of win. I think they've got not only crowd support. I think though they lost the last match, I believe it's kind of they have that. I think Chinnaswamy is like a fortress for them, so they should have that kind of winning. I would probably kind of if Hazelwood is playing, I would go with Hazelwood tomorrow as the man of the match. I see it more in terms of, like I said, bowlers. Of course, batsmen are scoring centuries, but if I think Hazelwood is there, he's a guy who's probably always kind of the brakes on. And I think DT is not. They was to only bank on their opening combination, and unfortunately, Sai Sudarshan not playing so well how he started in the last 2 seasons. It's only Gill right now. Butler's probably kind of just doing some cleaning up work maybe at number 3. But yeah, so I don't see GT probably kind of even close. But yeah, I would put Hazelwood and RCB.
Okay. At one point of time, I feel that this IPL is just a long thread of the T20 World Cup, because whatever has happened in the T20 World Cup is still happening in this IPL. Varun Chakravarti wicket नहीं अच्छा खेल पा रहे हैं, जसप्रीत बुमराह विकेट्स तो ले रहे हैं, impactful भी हैं, लेकिन उतना ज़्यादा impact नहीं है. संजू सैमसन अपने फॉर्म से बाहर ही नहीं आ रहे हैं, कॉन्स्टेंटली फॉर्म में चल रहे हैं. अभिषेक शर्मा ने भी 135 मार दिया, जो जाते जाते हमने लास्ट मैच में उनकी तरफ से देख लिया था. सो इट्स जॉस बटलर के साथ भी सेम हो रहा है. बस एक सवाल जाते जाते ब्रायन आपसे मैं ये करूंगी, ये विल जैक्स को क्यों खरीदा है मुंबई ने छुट्टी लेने के लिए? आई वांट टू नो वेयर इज ही, व्हेन इज ही मेकिंग अ कमबैक, वी नीड हिम. व्हाट डू यू थिंक, वेयर इज ही?
So I was like, they kind of, so they have their channel, and the way they kind of, I say, like you said, in between, I don't know in terms of behind the scenes, kya hai. He was available from, I believe, from game 2 onwards. And there's no news or probably insider news as well in terms of why he went back. He was in Bombay, I heard, and he went back, and then I think he came. I think they announced him just after the GT match when he won. They announced, guess who's back, and the Eminem Slim Shady song and stuff. लिया वो सब हुडी किया, आज भी हुडी पहन रहा था. He came in as I think towards the end to field, and I was like, Allah Ghazanfar को sub out किया. So last time I think I don't know, we have the 4 overseas player rule, but I believe in between there was one match where Shafin Rathod came in for Allah Ghazanfar or some of the other. But I was hoping maybe itna paisa diya or you retained him also, and he's been the man of the T20 tournament. He's your guy both with the bat and the ball. And पता नहीं कभी लॉन्च करेंगे, शायद वो जब भी we are और एक मैच हारने के बाद and we required to win 7 out of 7, तभी he might be the star of the tournament. पैसे भी चलेगा, but I don't know what he's doing. Probably maybe क्या कर रहे हो? Everyone कल गाना बना रहे या social media कल he's only doing something around there, but he's needed. I don't know who are needed rather. I think Karen Pollard in the dugout is needed. I believe he still plays all these leagues in Dubai, and I think in 2-3 leagues he plays. He's kind of still scoring at 200 220 strike rate. So he's required. Probably Sachin may be required. I don't know, but you still require some player. I feel better than the kind of current lot the way they are playing at least.
Yeah, I believe in work-life balance, पर इतना भी छुट्टी नहीं देनी चाहिए किसी को कि आपकी टीम बाहर होने पे आ जाए और आपका प्लेयर छुट्टी बना रहा है. But ठीक है, हो सकता है there might be something, we don't know a lot of things, but to know a lot of things you can definitely go to Mr. Cricket UAE website, and now we have an app as well, so you can definitely visit our app. So it is for you too as well. Please, Brian and Prem, if you have time and you really like getting all the cricket content at one place, you can get our Mr. Cricket UAE app, and it is for everyone who's listening to me, that we have really made this app with all the love and the experience we wanted to have in one app. So please check it out. It is on iOS and App Store. Do come back to our live tomorrow, as it is RCB versus GT. We are here to discuss more and more about cricket. Tab tak ke liye, thank you so much to both of you, and thank you so much to each and everyone who has joined me. कल फिर से आना है वापस, उसके लिए अभी सोना पड़ेगा, इसलिए गुड नाइट.
Good night. Bye. All the best.